Hello and welcome to Connect a Deck. It is the first video of December, and I figure we'd kick off December with my winter decks or Christmas decks. There are not that many. I will tell you that much. Well, that many that I can think of right offhand. I mean, I've looked a little bit, and I'm looking now. You know, you could probably add quite a few things to a Christmas deck. I just found another one, so I'm going to add it to it. I have like 5 so far, but 2 of them are Rider-Waite Smiths, or 3 of them are Rider-Waite Smiths that I could use at any point in time. We'll take this one too. Okay, I have a few. We'll talk about the few that I have. First up, and I think in order of when I got them, maybe not, is the Magical Nordique Tarot. I really like this one. It's Jane Wallace. It's not my first deck. It's my 3rd deck from her. The Angel Tarot was probably the 2nd deck that I got after I was a long time with just one deck, and it was the Amy Zermer Monty Farber Tarot deck. It was I think it was called the Quick Reader or something, whatever. This is not the original deck, but it's very similar. I have that one in a box because it's rather old. But this was my first deck. This is a copy that they came out, or I found this year, that's the close to the size of the quick reader that I had. It was called the Instant Tarot Reader. That's what it was called, because they also have a set where the cards are very long. This is a gorgeous deck. I'm thinking I could probably use this one for Christmas. Look at that, right? Yeah, I could probably, yeah. There we go. There's another deck, okay? And this one is called, this one that I bought, it's called this, the Zerner Farber Tarot. Look at the book that comes with this little deck. And you do get the artwork in color. Look at the size of those suckers. Just how beautiful and big they are. Okay? It's a collage. She does collage. I had the original, I think it was in 92. This is a reprint for sure. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if I can find it, but whatever. I'd like to say that they printed this when, you know, it really wasn't fashionable. Look at the hangman. It's so cool. I had this deck forever. I mean, I had this deck forever. Some of the cards are mangled in the original. That book comes with this one. It's amazing. If you're interested here, I'm going to get you a little closer here. If you're interested in this would totally, I mean, I could call it a Christmas deck, but you know what? You can call it an anytime deck. I mean, I've used this deck all year round, okay? If you know your tarot, in other words, if you're not relying on everything, you can get intuitive hits, you can get like basic knowledge hits, you can get collage hits from the images. Look at this 4 of Swords. Look at how pretty that is. See, it's almost like protection and meditation. Anyway, it's beautiful. The Hermit card. Look at the Hermit card, okay? I learned tarot with this deck. This was the deck that I learned. I know a lot of people learn with the Rider-Waite Smith. I didn't even know it was in existence for the longest time. This is the only deck that I had. And I learned a lot. Yeah, the Ace of Wands kind of freaked me out because at the beginning I thought she had like a really long middle finger, but it's a wand. I love this deck. Look at this sun. Look how pretty that is. But it's warm and orange, so I feel like it's got the autumn vibe already in it. Even the death card, he's like, you know, on a stroll. He looks happy, okay? Yeah, this was a very lovely deck, okay? I would deem it, I would call it a holiday deck or a December deck simply from the vibrant colors, okay? Because I feel that it's got that beauty, but I could also call it a spring deck because of the vibrant colors. So it's you to choose. It wasn't really in the stack, but we started talking about it and here we are, right? The swords in this deck really feel like winter, although this one feels very wintry too. There's like really cool color images, so I feel that too, right? Like Long Winter's Night. This feels like frosty, you know, mountains with snow. So that's why I would say, you know, you can use this one. The original that I had did not have any color. This came with the color. The deck is a little stiff to shuffle. Not impossible though, but better than those very long cards that they came out with. I like the back. It's got purple. Mine is this, my original is this color, not this color. So it's very different. If I could find it, I think it's hidden. I think I hid it away somewhere, as I would a very good deck. I only use it for very special occasions. But I like this one. So this is the Zerner Farber deck. Yeah. Just the Queen. I know these cards by heart. This is the Queen of Wands. I know these cards, like I said, by heart. Look at 3 queens right at the beginning. Look how beautiful they are. These are beautiful cards, okay? Alright, so this is mass market, by the way, if you're interested. I'll try to post the links below. Sometimes I think of it, sometimes I don't. I do have a website. I do have, well, I wouldn't say a website. I'd say I have, yeah, I do have a website where there's a page that offers, like, has links, and they're affiliate links, so they actually help me, right? While I'm waiting for this channel to be monetized, probably never, at the speed it's going. That's okay. I have 2 other channels that, one is monetized and one will be soon, so that's okay with me. All right. The Magical Nordic Tarot by Jane Wallace. These are cards that have keywords. Page of Wands is innocence. I usually don't love keywords for tarot decks, simply because people have their own interpretation. Like Queen of Swords, I would say more like, you know, mental intelligence or something, but this one has power. The Nine of Wands, determination. That would be a good word for me. 2 of Swords is difficulties. And that's kind of, yeah, it could also be delays for me. King of Pentacles, mentor. That's okay, but King of Pentacles, I think he's like a resourceful king for me. The Star is wishes. That's okay, wishes upon a star, but it can also be clarity, hope, renewal, peace, illumination. There's a lot of words that I associate to some of these. I like the 10 of Cups, joyfulness. 5 of Cups, hope. They have a few. This is like 22. There is no 22 in Tarot, but they wrote generosity, and this is a... I guess a painting of some sort, or an original, from what I remember in the book. The only thing is about this card is I would keep it out because I feel that it doesn't fit in the same category as the rest of the card. It just doesn't look. It looks like an original piece of art, so that's okay. You know, you can keep it or not. 4 of Cups, you have awareness. Nah, you know, for me, it's more like boredom or stagnation would be more of the 4 of Cups for me. Impatience, you know, stuff like that. 3 of Swords, affair of the heart. It's kind of a little too... But, I mean, I like these because I wanted a winter deck. Okay? Emotional withdrawal, 2 of Pentacles, ambition. That's okay. Empress, nurture. That's good. The Devil, boundaries. I would call it more restriction, but it's okay. 2 of Cups, Union, this is all right. Two of Wands, unity. I would be more forced to say contemplation or planning, but it's, you know, it's all movement. So when I use these, I tend to use them more like oracle decks with keywords, because that's where keywords for me belong. But that's my personal opinion, okay? Like, you can be a reader and do whatever. It's just that I don't find that this are, as somebody who would be learning tarot, I don't think that these would help with learning. It's very definitive in the way that it teaches, and I think that when you, here's my advice, here's my thought, or here's my opinion, I should say. I guess in a way it's an advice, right? When you learn tarot, you learn it under your own conditions. And yes, you do assign certain words, keywords, and things to it as you're learning it, whatever resonates with you, and that's fine. The broader that you look at it, the better that it gets. In other words, the more you assign different meaning for, let's say, a word, right? If I look at the Hierophant, let me see if I can find it here. Justice is balance, but it's also fairness. It's also accountability. It's also sometimes morals, legal decisions. You know, so there's a lot of stuff that comes in with this. Temperance is harmony, but also balance. Okay, strength is courage. That's true. Brave heart, but it's also personal power. The Hermit is wisdom, but it's introspection. Hierophant. Knowledge. This one's not bad. This is me, but I would also call it a teacher. Traditions, belief systems, education, learning and teaching, both. There's a lot of things that come with this. If I just say wisdom, I would just, or knowledge, this one's not bad though. I mean, it's pretty good. The Hermit is wisdom, strength. I don't, like I said, there's just, for me, there's more than just one word. The Page of Pentacles is like an apprentice learning a new project, a new skill. It's new experiences. Yes, that would fit into there. I guess it all depends. Judgment is forgiveness. Judgment for me is about changing, releasing, review. Judgment is being accountable for your choices and behaviors. It's not just about forgiveness. Okay, this one is a prime example. So if you would just be learning that and you just pigeonhole forgiveness for judgment, you'll never see it as anything but. So I'm always shying away from putting just a simple one-word definition to any tarot card, because I feel that there's more to it. The Full New Beginning's not bad. Death or Rebirth is not bad. I mean, they're not awful. And I think that's why I bought it, because I thought, they're not too bad. You know, Four of Pentacles, stability. It's also being too in control of things, you know, trying to control the situation. But stability, the want for stability wants you to do that. So you can work around it. Magician is mastery. Yeah, it can be, but it's also having the tools to do stuff, right? I just find that it's almost like somebody who had taking, you know, the general meanings or what they thought these cards were. And it's not to be mean or anything, and I can't be sure because so I'm not going to assume anything, but I always almost get the feeling that when people put keywords on cards, it's like they haven't really worked with tarot. Like really done everyday work with tarot. Because they would never assign just that. You know, they just leave it away. Like, let the cards interpret stuff. Okay? So, I do love the winter imagery, the snow, the sun, and, you know, I love that. This looks like a snowflake on a cup. Let's talk about that. The Wheel of Fortune. I love that. The big heavy coats. love it. The snowfall, love it. And that was the main purpose of me getting this one, because I wanted a wintry, frosty type of background to all of this, right? I wanted a cool setting and a beautiful, beautiful artwork, and it is very nice. The other part is it's a very pippish deck, as you can see. It's all pips. All of her decks, I do believe, are mostly like that. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Okay, so this is one of the winter decks that I use for winter. The next one that I'm going to talk about is my latest purchase in winter, and it is the Yule Tide. I think it's the Yule Midwinter Magic, but this is, what's it called? The Magic of Midwinter. A Guide to the Yuletide Tarot. Look at the size of this Bible book. Okay? This thing is humongous. The pictures are humongous. I mean, they depict the pictures really, really a lot. Okay? The 8, the 9s, you know, they show you all the pictures in very big detail. For the, let me see if I can see here. Let me see. I want to see strength. Yeah. You see, for the 5, like we were talking about, let's stick with the Hierophant. They call it Sinterklaas. And they talk about the Holy King, and then the divination meaning, and the reverse meaning, which is very beautiful. This deck is gorgeous, okay? It was the Christmas deck I was looking for. And when it came mass market, I was like, yes, finally a real Christmas deck with Christmas trees and everything on it, okay? The Queen of Candles. It's gorgeous. You have the Christmas scenes, 10 of Gifts. Of course, that's a 10 of Cups. You have the Death card. Very Charles Dickens-like the Christmas Carol, right? Ace of Canes. King of Gifts, King of Cups. 2 of Canes. Canes, I do believe, are swords. Or is it Good Cheer is the cup and gifts are pentacles? I do think gifts may be pentacles. Okay, so you have balance. I haven't used it since last Christmas, so you have balance. This gorgeous Santa Claus, I think, is having a time constraint with the delivering gifts, but we'll see. The 4 of Gifts, yeah, I think the 4 of Gifts are pentacles. The 6 of Canes are most definitely swords. He's sitting on his bed with the bills after Christmas, anxious. Yep. The Mary Luid is the High Priestess, and that's where the folklore comes in. That's what I was looking for, because I actually did a little bit of looking into it when I started. I apologize, I have some decks here sitting around here, and they go into a little bit of the folklore behind it, right? It talks about encountering mystery, okay? What is organized by the Magus is rooted here by the Queen of Winter, and the physical embodiment of winter, the Mary Luid. She's the High Priestess, the Bone Queen. You know, so it talks about all of these lores and legends. I love that at the beginning. The Magus is the Magician. 9 of Candles, of course, is Wands. Yeah, 5 of Gifts is definitely Pentacle, because there's the 5 of Pentacles for sure. And there's the 5, Sinterklaas. Very nice. 3 of Candles. I mean, look at that winter scenery. It takes you there. Poor guy, the Hangman. That must be cold. Okay. King of Canes. There you go. King of Swords. 8 of Good Cheer. Definitely Cups. 8 of Gifts. The star is on top of the tree. I mean, you know, it's very nice. I like this deck very, very much. The Seven of Canes, stealing the last of the, you know. The Ace of Candles. This is like, for me, I don't know about all of you, but for me, it's a true sign of Christmas. I remember seeing these in coloring books, on windows, in shops. This was like, I knew Christmas was around the corner when I was a kid. This is a beautiful deck. The Chariot, of course, is Santa with his reindeer. Seven of Gifts. Seven of Pentacles. Three of Canes. Ouch. King of Good Cheer. He's got his little ship in a bottle. Page of Candles. 10 of Candles. Oof. The bills again, right? Two of Gifts. Ha! The list. I love this. It's Judgment. Right? He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty and nice. There you go. Oh, that one was turned the other way. Eight of Canes. Krampus is the devil. Five of Candles. Ace of Good Cheer. The World. This is a truly very beautiful Wheel of the Year. Look at that. Sowing. Midwinter in both. I love. Four of Good Cheer. Four of Cups. Father Christmas is the Hermit. Gorgeous. 6. The Lovers is Mistletoe. Gorgeous. I love the way they did that. There was a lot of thought. It's not Pippish at all. The Magus is the Magician. It's not Pip like at all. I love the fact that it's not. They took a lot of time to think about it and do some really pretty images for Christmas. And giving it meaning at the same time. Always when you're putting things together, it's not always easy. Look at the tower, the lightning tree. Love it. The Holy King, the Emperor. The Sun. I mean, you know it's pretty. Matrona as the Empress. 0, the Child. Look at that, the magic of Christmas, right? So there you go. You have some really nice cards in here. I didn't want to do a whole flip through, but this is my main Christmas deck. This is the one that I purchased after a long while of looking, that I found finally met the criteria of what I wanted it to do, a deck that I was going to be able to use. And I'm going to be using it a lot in December of this year, okay, on the channel. Because, I mean, that's what it's made for, and that's what it's there for. Okay, so one more. These are, we're starting in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Actually, I have another one after. This is called the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. And the reason that I am taking it is because it's got some shiny. It's got some gold shiny foil, tin papery things, right? And that's why I will use it around gift giving, gift wrapping time, of course, because it's got that shiny thing to it, right? And you need shiny at Christmas. And if you needed to see, there you go. It's shiny, it's bright, the red, the golds, even the greens. You got green, okay? It's got the Christmas colors. And it's a good deck to use around Christmas time. You can use it all year round, but Christmas time, yeah, Christmas time is a good time to use it. All right, so we have that one. I do have a green and gold deck. Let me see here if I can find it. Is it this one, the Y spell? It's not a green and gold. It's a yellow and gold, also with foil. We'll call it the Y Spell Tarot, okay? We won't call it, that's what it's called. And this one would also be good for around this time of the year, because you have the, again, the foil. Okay, you see it? Just sometimes these can be hard on cameras when you're trying to, I mean, they're pretty to look at, but they're not always camera friendly, if you know what I mean. You see the shiny ones? So this is also one that I would use, and it replaced a deck that I didn't want anymore, that I didn't like the way it was. And that was the, I think it was a low Scarabeo black and gold that I had gotten for Christmas. This one is better. So this one can be used as well for the holiday season. A long time ago I was looking for this deck. It was it's called the Tarot of Cloisters. Now I know that this is a knockoff, and I don't usually use it on the channel, but I will use it if people ask me to. I wanted this round deck, and I couldn't find it anymore. It was out of print. And that is the only reason that I found it. But I wasn't aware that it was a... I wasn't aware at the time that I got it, because I got this a long time ago, that it was a knockoff or whatever, a fraud, okay? Because I do believe that these original cards are a lot bigger. But I wanted the stained glass effect, and I just wanted to show it to you. And in case you may find an original copy somewhere and want to purchase it, but it would probably run you a lot of money, especially if it's out of print. I just like the stained glass effect. I don't use it as much as I'd like to. I wish they'd bring it back into print and make it a little bigger. I wouldn't mind it a little bigger. But of course it's just like all, you know, stained glass. And stained glass makes me think of Christmas Eve at church, because I was christened Catholic, so we used to go to church on Christmas Eve. And you have, of course, the stained glass windows in the church, and this just kind of makes me, or brings me back there. I'm not going to go too far in deep with this one. I don't want to do a review because, like I said, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to put money in the pockets of people who print decks fraudulently. The only reason that it didn't go into garbage is because I just like it. Okay, I like to look at it. But generally speaking, I try to buy original. If I don't, it's because I've been fooled into buying a fake. And that's usually really gets me really angry, let's just say. Okay, so what do we have left? I have my Rider-Waite Smiths. And I got these a while back from Etsy. They were plastic. Somebody's just reprinted with different patterns. This one makes me feel like snow. This one makes me feel like there's snowfall, probably because of the little white dots in it. You see it? So I use this one generally more in winter. And I also have a darker version, like a dark deck of this. And you guys have seen it if you've been on my channels. And this one has a black and white. This is white and black, and this is black and white. So, and again, you have like either the Starry Night or the Snowy Night with this one. So I tend to use these more in wintertime for my winter readings. And I love the fact that, you know, white night. So you have these. Or sometimes I like to do readings of like, this is the block and this is the answer. Okay, so these are both, they're plastic coated kind of decks. Very slippery. I started buying a lot of these, but then realized how difficult it was to riffle shuffle these because they're kind of too slippery and they kind of slip away. So you got to really hold control of it. When you are shuffling them, though, they're pretty good because they do tend to jump out easier because they're, of course, very slippery. See? Yeah, you know, they're powerful. But the other card the other deck that I have that's similar to this would be this one. And I would use it, but simply because of the vibrant colors, okay? But this could be used at any time of the year. The color panel makes it so that it could be also a spring deck because of the pinks. But if you wanted something like really colorful for the year, you could also use this around Christmas time or the holidays. So I have used this one. Let's face it, a lot of decks could be used around the holidays. Even my November decks that I did reading for, I might be using because they have a darker theme to it, since the days are short and the nights are long. So I will probably be using a lot of that, like the Healing Light Tarot, or even the Wild, what is it, the Wild Unknown. There's also the Oracle of the Mystical Moments. Mystical Moments as well is a very nice deck to be using around Christmas time. I have also realized this by looking at it, because it's got that look to it as well. I wanted to add it, but I didn't. But again, this can be used any time of the year, but it does have that kind of coolish night sometimes to it when you look at it, but it also has that really summery look. It all depends what mood you're in and what you want to use. So it really is up to you. This one, again, could feel very, you know, cool and wintry scene if you wanted to. This deck I love using it. It's got a, I don't know, it's got something special to it. I can't really put my finger on it because the style of it is nothing that I usually would pick, but sometimes this would be another good one, right? Sometimes I just feel like it does reveal a lot in the way that it does. Look at this, so beautiful. Doesn't that feel wintry, right? So there's a few kind of, I guess, suggestions, even like the Tarot of Influence of the Angels, which I've also used in November. You could also use, it's got that darker kind of theme going to it. You have a bunch of things that you could use. I do feel that I feel for myself when I go looking for Christmas decks, I have to go on Etsy. Etsy is a little expensive if you're somebody who's just, you know, on a budget. I find that, you know, they do have some really nice decks, but paying over $100 for a deck is a little bit much for me at any point in time. I really have to be committed and love it, and it's got to be 100%, like, you know, connecting with me. It can't be like a few cards do and a few cards don't, not for that amount of money. So I try to steer to the mass market because I think that everybody should have access to these tools. And I find that sometimes I can find decks. I was looking at, what is it? The Shikoli deck? I forget the whole name. Anyway, so, and it has kind of like that kind of vibe. The problem is with it is I don't connect to the deck. So I didn't, you know, I didn't want to buy it. So there's also the Yuletide Oracle, I believe, or is it, when is it? Anyway, there's another one, and she does all the different times of the years. And again, I looked at a flip through and thought, I'm not connecting with it. I think it's called Seasons of the Witch. That's right. She does all the different ones. And it's the little blurbs. They're okay, but it's nothing that I want to use in this practice that I do online or even not online. So, yeah, I felt kind of a disconnect to it and just kind of, you know, let it be. So if you have any suggestions or you've seen some really cool wintry, holiday type decks that are kind of mass market that may have escaped me because I don't have the time to go researching these things because I'm here all the time. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you because I really am looking to expand a little more on my winter collection. I really would like to have a little more kind of winter decks with, you know, just more, right? I feel like I'm always like searching for stuff, but do you need really more than one? Well, if you have a YouTube channel, probably. If you don't, then I would suggest some of the ones that I suggested today. Like I said, the Yuletide Tarot, I got its own bag. This isn't the bag that comes with it. I got this bag. I think it's even off of YouTube, not YouTube, but Amazon. This is the best so far mass market Christmas deck that I've seen. It's probably not the best indie deck, but mass market, it's a very, this will be a workhorse of a deck. The book that comes with it is insane. It's like I said, it's humongous, and you get a lot of information. Oh, and they even put my picture. Look at that. This is the one that makes me think of Christmas, and they put it right at the beginning. I guess I'm not the only one. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave it on this page because it's so beautiful. And take good care of yourself. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'm not too sure what's going to be. Maybe I will do a flip through of the Yuletide deck next week. I hope you'd like that. I think you'd like that. Yeah, well, let's do that. We'll do a flip through of that one, so you can come back and watch it if that interests you. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I will see you in the next video or on one of my other channels, which is listed below. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now.